Jack. Welcome to the I-80 Club. Josh Peterson, Jack Mitchell with you. I'm in a hotel room, and I have to hold my microphone. Jack is at home. He doesn't have his headphones on. Hi, Jack.
Hi, I forgot. It's hard. Sometimes you forget to put your headphones on. You need your headphones.
Yeah.
Turns out to help hear the audio.
How are you?
Look at you in a hotel room.
Holding my microphone like a freaking goober, man. This is so weird.
I can see you have like the hotel desk lamp on to provide a little lighting.
Oh,
That's some nice ambiance.
It looks like black and white almost behind me. It's so like
I know,
gray. It's like a David Fincher movie.
It's very modern, like noir type decor. It looks like there was a murder behind you. You killed someone, and then now you're just coming up to do a football podcast because it didn't affect you emotionally to kill someone back there.
I killed a beer last night. Does that count?
Yeah.
Does that count for murder?
Yeah, I killed a beer. Look at you.
Well, welcome in everybody on this
crazy.
First Saturday of September. Josh Peterson and Jack Mitchell with you as always. As Jack said, I'm at a hotel. I am in Evanston, Illinois. I'm actually in Skokie, Illinois, Jack, and I will be heading immediately to the airport right after the podcast today. And I will come home so I can watch Nebraska play Akron and then do Big Red Overreaction with Matt McMaster tonight. And then you and I will have a pod about it tomorrow. Just
look at you.
So many pods,
so
much
much
talking.
Stuff to do. So many pods. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Before we get into it real quick, how was the lake field or whatever?
I mean, the field is awesome. The field is cool.
No,
the game,
not that cool.
The game, it is cool. The game was terrible.
You don't have to say that. They're not paying you to say that. You can.
It is cool.
You can just say it's fine. Just say it's
all
fine.
right. Do you want me to You want me to post the picture? You want me to post the picture on the? You don't care enough. You don't care enough?
No, I do care. I just don't want. Let's not get too excited about this thing. It's
okay. You asked. I gave you an answer. You just didn't like my answer. It's apparently what's going on.
That's correct. You assessed that. You assessed that situation exactly correctly.
Husker from you. Did you kill a shot of Malort since you were in Chicago? I did not. But Jack, I was at a bar last night where somebody ordered 2 shots of Malort.
Dude,
2 shots.
I will never do that again in my life. I think I've only done it once, and I will never. I will never do. I still can't fathom what they put in that to make it taste like that.
I believe my wife Riss likes it unironically. She doesn't even like his. Yeah, I'm serious. I don't know if she's watching this
I
morning,
don't believe that.
She actually likes it. Yeah.
It's like they concocted the worst tasting thing I have ever had in my life.
Well, isn't the story behind it that the guy that created it needed, like, his taste buds were broken? Like, he had COVID before COVID, and so he needed something so he could taste it. And so that was what he created. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, man.
Sure.
It's rough. Sure. It's rough.
Yeah. Well, welcome in, everybody. Josh and Jack with you. If you're joining us for the first time on our YouTube page, we very much appreciate it. This is the Saturday morning coffee show. We do this thing year round, but it's most fun, of course, during football season because we have games to get to over the course of the next hour because I have a hard out at 10 o'clock. We will do all sorts of things like light candles. We will talk about Nebraska's matchup with Akron. We have a new sponsor, Jack, that we will be unveiling in a little bit, and of course, we'll have the Saturday flight. What does that smell like? Does it smell like fall, or does it smell like leather?
I don't know. It hasn't waxed up yet, so I don't. It smells like smoke right now.
It smells like smoke.
But I do like that we have a ceremonial. You can't see it very well on the camera because of the light, but I do like that we have a ceremonial candle lighting on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
This officially starts the Saturday of football when I light the football season.
The football season candle. Yep.
Look at that. See? Number 1.
What is that?
It's
okay. There's like a football.
And a megaphone.
Very cool.
Listen, this
cool.
Bath and Body Works knows football. I've always said that.
Yeah, people are saying. By the way, Jack, multiple
trophy.
people are asking if the sponsor of the podcast is Malort. It is not. We can confirm, but if Malort wants to be a sponsor, Jack will wear your logo on a hat. He would love to wear your logo on his head.
Josh will not. I will.
I will. Yes. If anybody wants to sponsor anything, I will not wear your gear. I'm sorry.
Absolutely will.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Jack, if you suddenly start seeing Jack wearing gear of things that you know he hates, then that's why.
Josh draws very, very arbitrary lines in where he will just go to bat for a business. Once he puts it on, he'll say everything. I mean, he'll say
I'm happy to
say all kinds of bullcrap about what he likes, right?
No.
And all kinds of bullcrap about what he likes. But when it comes to adorning his body with it, that's it for him. That's the line. By this high, just high level of integrity, radio pitch man, Josh, not me.
Yes, that is correct.
Level.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. One more thing, Jack, before we dive into the game and to the day itself. We are starting another new podcast tomorrow. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? People have been saying, the I-80 Club doesn't do enough podcasts. There's not enough
message.
There's not enough available. And so, wouldn't you know it, but Matt McMaster, our dear friend, you got him, you birthed him into radio, if you will.
I birthed him. Yeah, I mean, I created him in a lab, actually. Caleb and I, we were just messing around back in the radio, like the engineer's room, and what would happen if we put this jack in this like embryo, and like it was amazing.
So wait, what parts of Jack and what parts of Caleb does Matt? Sorry, that we got to move on. So anyway, Matt reached out to me and said, "Hey, I would like to do a podcast with the I-80 Club." And I said, "Okay, sounds good. What do you want to do?" And he's like, "I don't know. Let me think about it." And so he eventually called me like a month ago, and he said he wants to do an NFL podcast. And I said, "That sounds interesting. When would we want to do this?" And he said, "What about if we did it on Sunday mornings?" And so, Jack, we introduce coming tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be at 9:30. I believe it'll be a different time normally when you and I don't have to do a post-game show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't want him to take all our fans.
Correct. Before the witching hour, Matt has made a Canva. Look at our boy. He has
what
made
in the
Canva
world
graphic.
Is that?
So that is the new podcast that we're gonna.
It really makes you appreciate our normal Canva guy, doesn't it? Holy cow.
That was Matt. That was Matt's work. He did a great job.
Hard to tell. Interesting.
What do you think of the name? I love the name, Before the Witching Hour.
Yeah, the blood is something, isn't it?
I meant the name, the actual name.
I do like the name, and I like the reference to. I hope they don't sue us. I like Scott Hansen.
Here we go. Jack's always so worried about being
You're my
sued.
friend. But whatever, I'll countersue them if they do for putting commercials on freaking Red Zone. Yeah, man, I'm mad about that.
Yeah. Wow, Matt says, did we workshop the name? Yet we did. I like the name. His other name.
No, I agree. I actually like the name too.
Yeah, the name is awesome, Matt. Now, David writes, did Jimmy Allen help with that? Dave Fight says the graphic needs more things.
Man, we really get some real blindsides sometimes, whether it's my shirt or the name of something or like things that we don't really expect people won't like, and they are very open in telling us how they don't like them. It's always a bit shocking to me.
Thankfully, it's usually things related to you and not me that people end up roasting the club for. Yeah, so, tough look for Matt, apparently. So, yeah, Before the Witching Hour will start tomorrow. 9:30 tomorrow, and it'll be about an hour-ish because Jack and I are on at 11 tomorrow for After Nebraska Football. Normally, it will be a little bit later in the morning. I think normally we're going to do it at about 10:30. Crack that bad boy open. So that will be tomorrow. Matt and I will talk about the NFL. We'll get ready for the day. It's funny, Jack. My team played Thursday. His team, good Lord. My team plays Monday. His team plays Monday this week. So we're not even going to get to preview our teams this week, though we will play in week 3. So that'll be fun.
Nice. All right. Sorry about your loss for your Cowboys, but it went better than you thought it would, at least. So that's
way better. Right? Way better than I thought it would.
So you're in a great mood.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack.
You got the Cowboys lost, but played kind of good.
Yeah.
It was funny when the Eagles' best defensive player got kicked out immediately. I would have loved to have seen your reaction when you found that out. The spit around the world.
So it was. This is not asking for any birthday wishes, so please don't wish me happy birthday. It was my birthday yesterday, and so on Thursday night, my wife and I went out for dinner because I was going to be gone yesterday, and we were in the car. Like I was driving to my parents' house as the kickoff happened. I was almost there, so I was just going to miss the kickoff. And the announcers are super confused. Like, what is happening? Why is there a flag down? And then I walk inside and my dad goes, Jalen Carter spit on Dak. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? It was a crazy way to start the football game.
The most amazing thing about it is like nothing had happened. There was nothing to be mad about yet in the game. It was so odd. Yeah, and I know Dak did the spit first, whatever. I know that now, but like
a second spitter.
Like, I don't know how you were that pissed off without a play yet in the game having happened.
Jalen Carter's an idiot. I mean, he's not, the smartest guy. Remember, he is of the Georgia car racing fame. He was involved with the thing where like someone died. So he's never made the best of decisions, Jack. By the way, people are asking if Before the Witching Hour, a great name for a podcast, is going to replace National Fun League. It is not. I don't know if Shafe and I are doing one on Monday, but we will still be doing that as well.
Oh, you are?
So,
I didn't know that you were.
Yep. I just like
Apparently
talking.
we're still doing that. We're still doing that. But
yeah, Jack loves it. All right, Jack. Let's enough of the NFL. This is not an NFL podcast.
NFL.
This is a Nebraska football podcast today, and Nebraska has a huge matchup. We spent many minutes on Wednesday's podcast discussing if this game and the next week's game will be the worst 2-week stretch of football opponents that we have ever seen. And now
Bishop and I confirmed it. Did you know
did?
Bishop and I?
No.
We did. Well, we confirmed it back as far as the Sagarin ratings go.
Okay.
It is according, you can debate what methodology you use, but Sagarin ratings have been going on forever and they rank all levels. And so that's what we thought was the best thing to use. And so we used the current Sagarin rankings and compared them to end of season Sagarin rankings for every other Husker year. And Bishop went back into I believe at least the late 90s, and there was not even close to a back-to-back game that was as bad as, I should see if I can find the graphic that he made, but he made a list of them, and there's no back-to-back games that there have been at least since in 25, 30 years. And I doubt there were before that either, because teams they didn't play 1AA teams then. I don't remember when the first time they did that was, but it was.
Oh, that's a good question. Early 2000s would be my guess, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe in the Bo era. Did Callahan did, because they played, I think, one of the teams I saw last night.
Callahan's first game was Western Illinois. That was his very first game.
So that might be the answer in 2004.
They played Maine one year.
They played Maine his second year.
In 93, they played North. It was then called North Texas State.
Yeah, Husker from you just brought that up in the early 90s.
But I don't know that maybe that was 1AA at the time. They played Middle Tennessee once, but I think they were. I don't know yet. But again, those were. I don't think you had any combination of teams that were that bad in the Sagarin. But if you have any, I'll check them if you do, because I have now the framework to be able to evaluate this question. But yes, we may be going into the worst two opponents Nebraska has faced consecutively. This is living in Bill Snyderville is what we're doing right now. And you know what? I think we should embrace it.
I was going to say, how are you feeling ahead of today's game?
I kind of like this. This is honestly how I want week 1 to be every year. This is really what I want. What we have right now, you want it to build. You want to start easy, get a little harder, and then get to the actual good opponents. Is kind of what you're wanting. And that is because, especially for week 1, because you're excited. You're so excited for football. You don't even care who they're playing at all. Like, you don't need a good game to be jacked up about it. Now, it's still the home opener and it's a night game, so it feels that way. Like, that really helps today. This is a great situation today. I'm very happy with it. It's a night game. It's a game where Nebraska is a significant favorite. I don't allow the possibility that Nebraska is going to lose this game.
They're not. They're not losing today's game.
Next week will not be as fun. I will say.
I was just going to say, there was a great comment from Alex just now. He says this week is good. Next week will be a drag.
Yeah.
I think this week is still, it's still kind of that like new car smell of a season, right? Like, you had the opener last week against an opponent that, the game was good, the game was close, the game was important, you had all those things. And while this game doesn't have that, it's the first game at home. And so you can almost just transport all the usual stuff, Jack, to a second straight game, except it's just not a tough opponent. It's then hard to do it for week 3, especially. I don't know if you've done any early forecast peeking for next week. Dude, it's going to be hot, and it's going to be at 11 a.m. And so next week's going to kind of suck.
Because today it's unbelievable outside during the day. It's going to be chilly tonight.
Yes.
I was out last night getting the pork butt on the smoker, and I was like, I'm going to get a sweatshirt. I was wearing a hooded sweatshirt outside.
Jack, I went to a store yesterday and bought a sweater to wear over my dress shirt because it got like a gray, like a comfy sweater, like an old man outfit. Because I was gonna be chilly because we were off the lake. I don't know if you've seen. It's pretty cool, and it was also a little
wind blowing off the lake. Oh,
yeah,
so
a little
cool.
They call Chicago the Windy City for a reason, Jack.
Can you imagine when recruits see that? I gotta no NIL, whatever you need to get me to this amazing program and the lunch pail mentality. And Coach Fitz once coached here. They're going to bring him back.
Yeah, it was. I do not think that that's a crazy take.
They're going to bring him back.
Yeah,
and I hope they do, because I don't hate them enough. You know, it is sad. I don't hate Northwestern enough anymore. And you and the Lake Talk is helping a little, and I appreciate that.
Oh, good.
But I appreciate that. But it's just sad what they've become. I liked it when they were bad and annoying rather than bad and not annoying.
Even though, as we discussed on the Chronicles this summer, for whatever reason, you never
what I'm saying.
Remember the games. It's
I think
strange.
that's played. I think that's probably now because I think that's a factor of kind of lessening my hatred for them.
Do you think, like, retroactively, your brain has forgot about the Northwestern games because
I
you
think
don't hate them anymore?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. So. Yeah. Well, hopefully we can change that for you. But yeah it's
great friend back.
Yeah, and so that I don't know really what more, Jack, to say about this Akron game, because we discussed it on Wednesday, or Tuesday, whatever day we discussed it, from kind of the same angle.
Yeah, and maybe this is how we discussed it before, but whatever. We're here to talk about it, so let's do. Like, what are the things that will make people, and you can say for yourself or others, and in the chat, I'd like to hear from you. You know, you're doing Big Red overreaction. What will make people? I know mostly people will be mad because that's how it goes.
Sure.
No matter what happens. But like, what will make people, what's most likely to be a scenario that, or things that happen that people are going to be upset about or concerned about, and what type of things are going to make people happy with whatever happens? The obvious is that they blow the hell out of them. They shut them out would be good.
Yes.
Obviously no injuries, dealing with that. But beyond those obvious things, what else?
Yeah, I was going to say the first thing that comes to my mind, because there was a comment from Husker Huss a little bit earlier about me doing overreaction. He says, I'm not worried about winning. I'm worried that we might not cover. Can you imagine the outcry? And like, that's the first thing that I think of about a good or a bad game, or what would get people off of their back, you know, and that would be a nice, comfortable win. But if you try to remove that from the equation, Jack, I mean, does it start and end with the offense just looking better? Like, I guess here, I will take your question and I will ask you a different question. What side of the ball do you think people want to see perform better today? Offense or defense? I think the answer is offense. I think people want to see the offense look crisper. Even though the run defense was poor last week, the pass defense was so good that you could say, the defense was fine. The offense did not score very many points. One of their touchdown drives began at the 20-yard line or whatever it was. And, of course, we know that there were no explosive plays. Really, it's like a conversation with the Chiefs right now. And by the way, have you ever noticed that Dylan Raiola and Patrick Mahomes kind of look alike? I wonder if there's something there. But in all seriousness, like, I think if the offense had some big plays, if the offense had a fun play, if the offense scored points, I think that would make
lots of highlights.
People. David says seeing another running back step up. Yeah, what if you saw a running back step up, Jack? That would be fun.
I agree, all of these. I think you hit it on that. I think that is I think everything will matter, but I think the biggest thing that would concern people if you went away is if Nebraska wins, I don't know, 31-3, right? And they don't, and they kind of putz around for a while and have maybe one of them's like a pick six, and then the rest of them are like 8-yard runs. And there's no huge long play. There's no wide receiver getting out for a big pass. There's no 50-yard run. That's probably the biggest. That would feed into the most negativity right now, I think, probably. Because I also think that the perception is that just based on one Akron game, but they held Wyoming to 10, right? So their defense, but they didn't score against Wyoming. So the perception is
correct
of the two sides of Akron. The defense is the more stout side of the ball for them, so it provides a bigger challenge.
Yeah, even though, like, and I know that's kind of the broad view of them, but, like, you look at the numbers, Wyoming was able to move the ball. They just didn't put the ball in the end zone very much.
Yeah.
Or through the uprights. Yeah, and along the lines of what you just said, Jack, there was a comment from Matt a couple moments ago. He says, we need to – this is a different one, but he says we need to come away saying this is why I was excited for Dana Holgorsen. I agree, but Dave Feit, this was the one I was looking for. He says the offense. He adds, if the defense plays well, the narrative will be Wyoming shut them out. And I think that is true.
That's basically what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because what you just said, if you put up a lot of points, they're like, ooh, that was a defense that gave up 10 last week. I just think people want the offense to look good. And I think, Jack, too, big picture wise, when I think of the last month and some of the things that you and I or John and I talked about on the radio, it was the offense might have to carry the team a little bit more this year. And so given that the offense didn't look as good last week as maybe we thought or hoped that they would, I think that you want to see them look solid on that side of the ball, knowing that the run defense is probably going to have problems. Maybe not today, maybe not next week, but certainly could against Michigan, and could against some of the other Big Ten teams.
Josh, can I give you a list of questions I want to revisit on Sunday morning when we do our show?
I would love it.
I'd be interested in. Okay. Number one, and I, again, acknowledge one game is not going to answer these questions, but I will want an update on where we are on these questions. Number one, what running back behind Emmett Johnson do you feel is most capable? That's number one.
Okay.
I don't know right now, and
I have no answer.
We haven't really seen Quentin Ives other than in the bowl game, and so I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more of him. So that's number one. Number two, number two is, how do you feel about TJ Lateef?
Yes, I was going to say quarterback would be like the next
TJ Lateef and or Gramstead if it's both of them, but primarily Lateef because I think he'll be the main backup. So that's number two. Question number three: who would you rank? Is it Nwaneri or is it someone else who you believe is going to be the biggest havoc wreaker in the front seven on other defenses? Because I don't know who that is. That person's going to need to step up. Multiple people will, obviously, but I still feel like I don't know who that is. I think probably the consensus among people who watched and talked about it in the first game, and I think you said this, was that it was probably Nwaneri or McCullough, but that was one game. And so I want to see how we feel again in the second game. Who is the biggest kind of wrecker who's the Ty Robinson of this year? And it doesn't have to be the same position, but who's that guy? So that's another one. I
hope someone's been writing these down because I can't. I'm holding my microphone.
I can remember them.
Okay.
And this one is a lesser one, but I think Nebraska. Listen, Key and Hunter can be deep threats, but I wonder, is one of the guys, and I think the only one that might be sized right for this is Keelan Smith, but is there like the emergence of like a go up and get it guy, like a big guy, kind of I think what they thought Malachi was going to be, but somebody really with some size that is going to be someone that they're willing to go deep with. And does that person emerge? I think that's a question that I have. I don't know the answer to that. And then I don't know if we'll be able to tell a whole lot about the offensive line, but I think probably the big question is, hey, do we feel like Gatula has solidified himself in that spot? But so many people are going to play. So that's
Jack. That's the left tackle position, and just when that will be locked down is something that I've been wondering about. My theory this week has been that they want to know what the answer is by Michigan, but in particular, they would like to actually know the answer by next week. I don't think they're going to want to rotate anymore in 2 weeks. That's my guess.
It was interesting how Rule said it in the press conference on Thursday, because they were like, hey, I think it was BC asked him the question. He was just like, hey, have you decided what you're going to do at left tackle? And he was like, well, Gatula is going to start. And he didn't necessarily say, we're not going to rotate them anymore. Although I kind of read into that sort of what he meant, that Gatula has taken the spot to some degree. I don't know if that's true. So it'll be interesting to see how they use him. I expect they're still actually going to rotate them just because of the type of game it is. But correct. I think you're exactly right in that by Michigan, I don't think they want to do that.
Here's what I think. I think maybe they rotate next week, but I think internally they want to know by next week who the guy is. And look, maybe they know the answer to that right now. I think, and we've talked about this before, you and I have, John and I have, I think they want the guy to be Pritchett. And I think last week Pritchett had some nice plays. I think that they are also concerned about Pritchett making a mistake like he did at the goal line. And so that is what kind of makes it really, really tough right now. Some other ones from the chat. I like this one from Sam. We should probably see an explosive or a glimpse of explosion from Carter Nelson. Carter Nelson has been a player
that one
that, we've talked about a lot, of course, over the last year. Hell, Jack, I was in this exact hotel a year ago when we talked about that one 12-yard catch that he had or whatever in the opener against UTEP and how excited it made us. But I think now there's a little bit of pressure on him because of the injury to Bonner, because of the injury already to Markway. And so whatever plan they had of maybe slowly bringing him back, it's go time now. It's got to be go time for Carter Nelson. And so and I'll throw another name at you, and that's Lindenmeyer. Like, he's been getting gassed up this week, by including
could he duplicate it? Can he keep the hype going for 2 more weeks? That's a great one. Or was this we've seen one-time big games from tight ends sometimes, but can this be a consistent thing? That's a good one.
Yeah, for sure. And so I want to see what he can develop and turn into over the course of this season, and especially following his performance last week, which was pretty solid. Can he do something like that again today? Like that again today?
I loved it. I want more of that. I'll start my Lindenmeyer excitement. It's got room to grow. It's already very high, but if it can become sustained, oh baby, that's going to be some powerful excitement.
Yeah, absolutely it will. Absolutely it will. Don't think there's any others. I'm trying to see any of the other comments.
This is a very odd, but field goals and punts looking consistently solid the whole way around.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, make sure I wasn't fool's gold in game 1.
I like that. Yeah, especially, we were all excited to watch Archie, and I thought that he performed very well. And so I would like to see him get a chance to uncork one, not to say like, hey, don't move the ball and get a first down, but I want to see him have to punt from his own 20 just to see what he does, because often the punts last week, they were around they were around midfield, and so he did a great job in terms of getting him in the 20. But
I think that would give him more room, like, just to do the full bicycle kick too, because he knows he's got more distance and he doesn't have to place it. And so,
yeah, for sure.
So I guess add one thing. Will he break out the bicycle kick this week, or will that be next week?
Maybe that's a Michigan thing.
Will they punt?
Says that.
Will Archie punt?
Wait. Oh, now that's a good prop. What would we set the number at? Half, or do you go 1.5?
I'll go 1.5.
Okay. Over, under.
Probably over.
Oh, good Lord, Jack.
Who knows what? Listen, if they're way up, who knows who's going to be? Here's an interesting thing. Does anyone other than Kunani kick a field goal today? Do they try somebody else, or are they like, no?
That's interesting. Wow, that's something I have not thought about at all. But
I hadn't until just this moment. But if they're up,
a good question.
37-3, and it's 4th and 18 from the 25, which Nebraska can obviously get itself into. That'll be one. But
Jeb says, let Dylan Raiola kick a field goal. Yeah, what about Dylan Raiola? That'd be a fun bit. Patrick Mahomes has never kicked a field goal, Jack.
He's done some good quick kicks. I've seen him do some solid quick kicks.
God, he has done some. Didn't he do that against Rutgers last year?
I can't remember what game it was, but it was like weirdly good.
Husker for MU.
I don't know.
No rotation at kicker. He is out on your idea for.
I don't mean. Sorry, to be clear, I don't mean a rotation. I mean, we're clearing the bench like we are at every other position.
Correct, and not rotation. More. Hey, they're up. No, not a rotation. They're up 38-2. Why don't they see what they have with one of the other?
If Kunanen is 3 for 3 already, and it's the 4th quarter, and they're like, hey, why don't we? I don't know if they would do that or not. I was just curious.
Yeah. By the way, Connor just shared a clip in the chat of me attempting to do a bicycle kick. I don't know how terrible. I just went and watched it. I look like an idiot. So that's exciting. Thank you, Connor.
When did you do this?
Like 2 minutes ago. Were you not paying attention?
I thought this is an old clip. Okay.
No, he literally just did it.
He already clipped it. Wow, people are so freaking fast with stuff. I thought this was just an old thing. Got it.
Yeah. You're usually fast at other stuff, if I remember right, Jack. Let's see. Just kidding. Jason, if Akron has exactly 2 points, that is a problem. Maybe somebody noticed that I said the game was 38-2. I was wondering if anyone was going to acknowledge the random score.
Is it that unlikely? I mean,
God, that would be so annoying. What if that was the first score? What if the first score today was a safety by
Akron, like a snap
Nebraska
over the head or something?
Dylan Raiola can't get it. It goes into the end zone, and Akron leads 2-0, and the crowd here is stunned. Yeah, that would suck.
Oh my gosh,
that would suck. That would absolutely suck.
So those are the things. We'll generally remember all of those answers.
Yeah.
But those are the types of things like I'm wondering about this game, and kind of just. But the very number one is who's my number 2 running back. I want to have a good idea by the end of these next 2 weeks solidly who the second best running back is.
Well, Jack, along those lines, the running back room is a position group that we have been talking about quite a bit over the course of the last week. And today we are so happy to unveil our first sponsor on the I-80 Club because, Volleyball State's been doing all sorts of stuff. And that is BOD Coach. And so today, Jack, we are unveiling BOD Coach. We will tell you about them a little bit more in a moment. But every week we are going to give you a Coach of the Week that we are paying attention to, that we are watching. Jack loves talking about assistant coaches, so we thought, wow, this is a great thing for him. And so we're going with Mr. E.J. Barthel today for the BOD Coach of the Week.
That's a BOD Coach of the Week. That's right. And I said, if we're going to do a sponsorship, it's got to be something where I can talk about assistants, probably something that has the word coach in the name. And sure enough, we were able to find that and make it happen with BOD Coach. And so, yes, E.J. Barthel, and here's why I think he is the BOD Coach of the Week. And for this is not celebrating that someone did a good job. It is kind of a spotlight, basically, on this. And we're going to be watching carefully how they coach. And this is in multiple ways. Number one, it is how does Barthel manage the playing time? Number one question for him is, how much do you need to even use Emmett Johnson in this game? At what point do you say enough is enough with him in this game? Number one. Number two, how do you divide up the carries behind him and who gets them? Okay. All of those. And then I think number three is, how has he developed these guys who are going, at least one or two of which, and I'm talking about the three guys behind Emmett, including Mosey, who came over from another position. How has he developed these guys and built these guys into solid options at backup running back? So I think the spotlight is on him in multiple ways. And I think Dana Holgorsen has learned his name now, and so that will probably help with communications.
Yeah,
I
will.
Think.
And so that's the coach and the running back room that we will be keeping an eye on this week. And Jack, what a great comment we have just a moment ago from Jabs, who says, I need a BOD coach. Well, Jabs, isn't that absolutely perfect? We all need BOD coaches, and that is why you can go to bod.coach/I80 Club today, and you can use that code, Jack, I80 Club, and you can get 10% off and get coached to do better with what you're doing with your workout goals and figure out how you can lose weight. Or, Jack, one of the things that you were talking about with this website the other day was, I don't know what to do inside of the weight room. Well, this would help you out with all of those questions and more.
I mean, I've been using it. It's really innovative the way that it does it. It uses AI to essentially allow you don't have to go through a website or an app. You just have text conversations basically. And it'll ask you, hey, how often are you wanting to work out? What things do you want to do? What equipment do you have? Do you go to the gym? Do you have stuff at your home? Do you have nothing that you can work out? How much are you able to? What are your goals? And it will then make workouts exactly that fit your schedule, your situation, what you've got, what you don't, if you've got injuries, and it will make them and you can tweak them. And that's been one of the things that's always held me up, is that, like, I don't want to go to the gym because people lift weights very differently than they did when I was in high school. Now, all I did was bench press, right? But they're very different now. And so it's awesome. So it'll set those up for you. It'll remind you, and it'll help you figure out how to do all of them. If you got questions about the exercises, you can just send them in the text or the chat the entire time. I was so freaking impressed with this thing, and I'm using it, and I have a BOD Coach workout scheduled today at 12:30. And I'm going to be doing, I think I got strength. Do I have strength or endurance today? I can't remember. Or strength or cardio today. But I got one of the two. I can't remember. I could just text and ask right now. And I'll be doing it while I watch football in my basement. And I only have minimal equipment. And it's been incredible how it's been kind of adapting to the things that I've got. I would really encourage you guys to try it out. Told my wife about it the other day. She was like, yeah, I definitely would like to try that. So give it a shot. And it's I-80 member owned.
Boom. Look at that. bod.coach/I80 Club. You can get 10% off today. We appreciate BOD Coach being the first sponsor here on the Saturday Morning Coffee Show.
Bruce says, Jack, we're going to need before and after pics. I mean, you get video of me constantly. Like, you can see. Here I am. Do you like this?
I think people want you to take off your shirt and take a photo and then take off your shirt again.
But we're going to need a lot of BOD Coach work on that, but I'm confident they can do it. So
awesome. So we appreciate BOD Coach. And so each week we will spotlight a coach that we are keeping an eye on. And we will do that again next week ahead of the Wyoming game. So that is kind of what's going on with this matchup versus Akron today. It's going to be interesting, Jack, and I say this a little worried as someone who is doing the post-game show of what the reaction will be tonight if it is not as perfect as people are hoping it will be. Again, I mean, not to just re-answer the question you asked at the beginning of the pod, but, dude, just get out of this thing without any injuries, and I think did I just say Wyoming? I meant Akron. Just get out of both of these games without any injuries and wins. And I honestly don't really know if I would be that mad otherwise, barring like a catastrophe in terms of the offense just is garbage or the defense looks like shit. Especially I just want to see some comfortable wins with no injuries.
Especially if they get guys out early as well. And you're playing, you're getting some experience in. Yeah, that would be I do not want to see Dylan Raiola, Emmett Johnson, pick your other key player in there in the past, 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Yeah. That would be a key for me. I don't want to see. Yeah. I could give you a list of about 10 guys I would like to see not playing after. I'd like to see them eating hot dogs on the sideline like it's Pacific in 1994.
Nice. 1995.
Whatever. 94
Jack,
season.
one more before we get to the Saturday flight and get everyone on with their day. Who is the backup? Who is a young player that you most want to see today? Like, I know we spent some time earlier talking about, who's going to come in first at running back, or will there be a different kicker? We talked about the backups at quarterback. Like, who do you want to see today and next week in these, two games where the backups should get some playing time? Ben writes TJ Lateef. That's my answer for the record. I want to see TJ Lateef because we've heard so much about him over the course of the last few months.
The two obvious ones for me, Lateef, I would agree. I would have said Lateef too. And the other one is Quentin Ives. Those are the two guys I want to see the most and kind of evaluate the most. And that will most impact the way that I feel about the team. That said, beyond them, I would say I mentioned Quinn Clark and Keelan Smith. I would say both of them, some of the wide receivers, because I still think there's going to be room in the rotation for one more wide receiver to be used pretty regularly. And especially if he is like I was talking about earlier, a deep threat with some size. Yeah. So I would say those two guys, but anybody else, any of the other back, Cortez Mills, I suppose, or Jeremiah Jones, you can include in that as well. I don't know if you consider him a backup. You mentioned Carter Nelson as well. That'd be another one.
I was wondering because Matt mentioned Carter Nelson, but I understand that mindset of thinking him just because of the questions that kind of surround the position, and I guess him right now too.
If you're talking true backups, it's there in the defensive backfield is the other group that I would be. It would be Jeremiah Charles, Caleb Benning.
I was gonna say Caleb Benning has come up multiple times in the chat.
I think Rex Guthrie or Derek Branch, if they would get in, Amari Sanders, all of those guys. We've heard good things about every one of these defensive backups starting last year. We saw a little bit of some of them, starting with Donovan Jones in the bowl game. But, man, I will tell you what, an unsung hero of that game, Donovan Jones coming in and playing like he did in that defensive backfield as sort of like the token young guy in that group. And he really didn't play much real game football until the bowl game last year. Yeah. But
Jeff says he was legit last week.
He was 100. Marshall was legit. Sierra Wright was legit. As many problems as there were in that game, God, that secondary played well. They were far above my expectations.
Yeah, something we haven't really talked about a whole lot this week, beyond just, wow, they were really good last week, is let's see them do it again. I'm kind of curious if, and I know the next 2 weeks, the opponents are just so bad, but man, you wonder, Jack, are we going into that Michigan game collectively talking about oh my gosh, what are the Wolverines going to be able to do through the air? It's almost if you could take away the run game, are you feeling really good about this? I wonder if that will be the vibe and the feeling, because the thing that I guess I can't get out of my head, and I know you talked about it last week, didn't you say something to Johnny man, is Sierra Wright playing? He's like, yeah, they're stuff throwing.
I thought he was hurt. I was like, is Sierra Wright hurt? Because I realized I didn't notice him in the game, and I was like, is he hurt? And it was as they were kind of lining up, and he was like, no, he's right there. Yeah. And I was like, they just haven't thrown on him the entire game. And then I looked at the stat sheet after, and sure enough, the guy, They had one receiver who had multiple catches. All the rest had one.
Yeah. And so like
Marshall was shutting his guy down too. Like it was so impressive. I don't think you can say enough about it.
Yeah. And so I'm wondering if like how much of that was Nebraska, how much of that was Cincinnati. Yeah. Like we will learn over the course of the season. And so I guess I would like if when we're doing our postgame show tomorrow at 11, I kind of would like to know like or have a stronger opinion of like, geez, maybe they are like that good. Like that'd be interesting.
And I agree. I don't know. I continue to say what I did after our first game. I'm not going to get too high or too low on anything or assume it's the same going forward. But I will say this, like if there is a position group where they've at least proven their competency pretty significantly over a number of years, that group has. Like they haven't, again, as I said a million times in the summer, they've not been all conference caliber, but if they all took a step, and then you had the young guys, Marshall came in and helped, Donovan Jones took a significant step, that could be more of a strength. It reminds me, I think the goal, somebody mentioned that Jones was reminding them of a Pelini era guy. Man, remember some of those Pelini era secondaries where they went like back in the Hagen Gomes days, where they went just like 6 deep with like you had 6 or 7 really good players.
Yeah.
Now, if you could carry on what happened against Cincinnati, and I don't know that you can, but if you did, that would be the hope with what this group looks like.
Jack, I do lean that they are that good because of the conversations we had in the offseason about Cincinnati and, oh my gosh, look at Joe Royer. This is a good tight end. And wow, look at the transfers that they got at wide receiver. And oh my gosh, they have a quarterback who can do some damage. And he did on the ground, but through the air, they didn't do shit. And so, like, I kind of think that they're real. I kind of think that is some real stuff.
If they are, this defense they cannot waste them by not having a great pass rush.
Correct. Yeah, Ben just said that. Not without quarterback pressure, though.
Yep, you've got it. If you can pair a good pass rush, that's when I can get excited about this defense.
I will say this, like that, and Dave just said it, coverage sacks, like that allows for them to kind of come along a little bit. Like if you have greatness behind you, it does allow for some wiggle room, I guess, on the front line.
Right. But they didn't get those again. And part of it was because Sorsby was very good at knowing when to tuck it and run. And he was hard to tackle, or they would get hands on him and they would not sack him. So they didn't get those last week. Yes, they need to start getting this, but they've got to have some guys in that backfield that look like they inspire fear in the offense. I didn't see that. Like I didn't see, oh shit, Big Ty Robinson is coming after me right now. I didn't see that at all in Sorsby. He looked like he could just, flip his hips a little bit and get away from everybody. They've got to have guys like, oh no, I'm screwed. I'm running for my life. I did never see Sorsby looking like that.
No, yeah, you're right. That didn't really happen very much last week. So we will see if that can happen today for Nebraska, the game versus Akron at 6:30. A reminder, we will not do a post-game show tonight, and that is because I have Big Red overreaction duties on 1620 The Zone. So Jack and I will be back tomorrow morning, and we will be on at 11 a.m. for after Nebraska football. And then finally, Jack, next week we will get to do a normal Saturday coffee show, Saturday night post-game show for the first time, even though it will be week 3. I'm very excited just to get into our normal routine because Week 0, Week 1, and Week 2 have been very strange. And so I'm excited to get to Week 3 where it's going to be a bit more normal. And then Week 4 is going to be completely badass.
Thursday games are stupid, especially to open the season. Let's not do that again.
Unless you win.
They won. I still think it's stupid.
Wow, and you still
think I like Saturday. I like Saturday games. Call me a traditionalist.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Saturday, Jack, and speaking of things that aren't stupid, it is time for our tradition that we started 4 years ago on accident, and now we keep it going, or 3 years ago on accident. It is the Saturday Flight, where we let you know about the big games. And, Jack, it's a little tougher this week. Have you seen the college football schedule? And if you haven't, I'm going to show it to you in just a moment.
Yeah, you kind of get punished for a good week 1 often when you have that, it seems like.
Yeah, indeed you do. We take a look at the early window, which is just about to start. I will say this. Everyone's been crapping. Oh, man, there's only one good game today. No, that's not true. Iowa at Iowa State is badass this morning. And obviously, I know that Jack will be rooting for the Iowa Hawkeye. Wait, are you disagreeing with me? No. Calling it badass?
It's a good game. It's a good game. I'm excited to watch it. I don't really like the adjective. I don't really like the adjective badass for it.
You don't like the adjective?
No, for that, it's a very good. I'm excited. I look forward to watching it. There's no doubt about that. I'm not sure that it's badass.
What word would you use to describe it?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Fine. It'll be a good game. I'm excited to see it. I am very interested to see. Who's gonna win this thing? Listen, if Iowa looks bad again, now that's if the Iowa offense, I should say, looks bad again, and they can't pass it against Iowa State.
Well, yeah, there was a comment just a moment ago from where was it at? Yeah, G. Merle. I'm not the smartest man, but Gronowski over 135.5 passing yards seems like easy money.
He was putrid in that. And then I heard people saying, well, Albany was doing the same thing Cincinnati's defense was. Yeah, but it was Albany, not Cincinnati. It was just like, oh man, if he sucks again,
Jack, I was just gonna say, isn't there a world where we leave this game today and say, oh, so it is just the same Iowa that it's been? Nothing has changed with the Iowa
correct
Hawkeyes,
which
right?
which in itself could certainly beat Nebraska, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
so all summer is this finally Ferentz is going to have a quarterback, right?
I know.
This offense is going to be real with a passing quarterback and one of the best FCS quarterbacks there is. I don't know if he wasn't healthy or it was just a bad day or it was the way Albany was playing defense. But if this becomes 2 in a row where he does not look great passing or they don't have the receiving core to do it, it's just like, what do we do all off season with this? It's the same. They have good offensive line. They'll have a good running game. They'll have a very good defense. It's the same.
Yep, indeed it is. Other games on ABC, San Jose State is at Texas. Let's see if Arch Manning can rebound. Speaking of bad quarterback performances last week, Jack. On ESPN, Illinois is at Duke.
Ooh,
dude, this is
watch out. Watch out.
I will not call it badass, but I will definitely call this game interesting. Illinois, a short favorite on the road, and Jack, if Illinois is supposed to be the team that people think they are, this is a game that you have to win. This is a game you have to win, and you have to do so semi-comfortably.
Duke quietly got one of the best quarterback transfers in the cycle, getting Mensah from Tulane as they moved on. They moved on from the guy that they got, the guy from Texas they had last year, because he went out, I think, to Oregon State. I can't remember. But he had a solid first game. It'll be interesting to see how that goes for Illinois there. That'll be the first test to be like, okay, was the Illinois offseason hype? Can we blow it up and end it right now, or was it legit?
Yep. Other games, Central Michigan at Pitt, and so now we're getting to kind of early dregs, Jack. Yeah. FIU at Penn State, Northwestern State at Minnesota on BTN.
Yeah.
Penn State always plays in just some horrible non-con games,
talk about two bad games in a row. Penn State has it every year.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, well, hell, they have 3 of them. A game against Oregon can't get here soon enough. Kennesaw State is at Indiana. Let's see if Indiana performs better.
Watch out for this one. Watch out. Don't be surprised if the third quarter it's like, well, this one's a little closer than I thought it would be.
I'm going to be in Bloomington on Friday next week. I'm like legit excited to see like what we get, because I thought it was just going to be 60-0, but after last week, you never know. The CW, Jack, has maybe the third or second most interesting game in this window. Baylor at SMU. Like, that's actually interesting. Well, what does that say? I can't tell.
Bryson Washington. It's my Mr. Touchdown USA pick from Baylor.
Nice.
He has 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
By the way, Caleb's guy got like 4 touchdowns last night for Louisville.
Unreal. We move into the afternoon window. Ole Miss at Kentucky is the ABC game.
That's a good game. I like that game.
Ole Miss lost to Kentucky last year, and it kept them out of the playoff.
I just can't see Dante Dowdell go for another 70-yard run, or I'm going to puke.
Yeah, that would be a big time bummer. CBS. This game, Jack, got way more interesting than it needed to because of what Gundy said. What an idiot this week with some of the words like they're in a different money bracket. It's like, bro, are you wanting to separate the sport apart? Like, what are you trying to do with these words?
I don't expect this to be a good game, but I want to watch it. And also, I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but check out the Inside Information channel for something on this game.
Oh, hello. There you go.
Did you see this or not?
No, I missed this.
Yeah, go check it out.
All right, Patreon.com.
You may not be that. You may not be that interested in it, but some people are.
Wait. Was it related to a quarterback? Was it something? Okay. I saw something yesterday. I didn't have a chance to read into it, though, because I was busy. So I will go check that out after the pod.
Yeah.
Fox has Delaware at Colorado.
That's on Big Fox?
I know. How bad is that, bro?
That's the worst game ever on network TV.
Wow, interesting. Nebraska used to play on network TV against them.
Yeah, well, at least there was one good game. There was one good team in those.
Yeah,
Delaware?
Yeah, Delaware. Hey, Joe Flacco, maybe he'll be in the building. ESPN2 brings us Kansas at Missouri. That's awesome. Welcome back to Kansas at Missouri.
I love they're playing again. When does Nebraska get to play Missouri and Iowa State and Kansas State?
Seriously, all they do is play Colorado. I'm getting annoyed that all they do is play Colorado. And I guess they did Oklahoma. I want to see them against those other. I want to see them against the other Big 12 North teams.
Real quick. Yeah. Rank the Big 12 teams you want to see Nebraska play.
Number 1, Missouri. Number 2, Kansas State. Number 3, Texas. I want to see them play Texas again. Yeah.
I want to see. Honestly, Iowa State. I would have on there.
Maybe I'd put Texas number 1. Let's see. Big Ten Network has Grambling at Ohio State. Yikes.
Mickey Joseph, right? That's Mickey Joseph's team.
Mickey Joseph. Wow. Middle Tennessee is at Wisconsin. Let's see if Wisconsin will be up by more than 3 points at the half. And Jack, SEC Network got a good one. South Florida at Florida. Dude, South Florida put it on, Boise State.
DJ Lagway, get a chance to see him.
We move into the night window. Of course, this is where Nebraska's game will be. Akron at Nebraska on the Big Ten Network. The game of the day, Michigan at Oklahoma on ABC.
I like every one of those night games. I mean, they're not as like barn burners, but every single one of them has something interesting about it, I would say.
I was just going to say the same thing. Boston College is at Michigan State. Army at Kansas State. Like, Jack, you had Army lose to an FCS school last week. You had Kansas State almost lose to an FCS school last week.
Somebody's season is screwed. One of these two teams' seasons is screwed. This is like a elimination game.
Yeah, you don't want to have one of those in week 2 of the season, and yet that could happen for either side. Arizona State at Mississippi State on ESPN2. Arizona State, a very short favorite. They did not play very well in week 1 last week, Jack. And Mississippi State, one of the worst power teams in the entire country. Like, Arizona State better put it on them, but I'm worried that they're not going to, given how short the spread is.
They played last year at the beginning of the season before Arizona State, anyone thought was good, and Arizona State won. It wasn't a blowout, but that was kind of the beginning of Arizona State being, they're kind of good. Don't forget, Mississippi State has Ian Alio's Mr. Touchdown USA, Fluff Bothwell. Don't forget,
shout out.
Fluff has 1 touchdown, more than me. More than my guy, than Bryson.
Mr. Fluff. That's what we call Ian, Mr. Fluff. Good on you, Ian. FS1, Georgia Southern at USC. Clay Helton returns to
this would be a lot more fun if Georgia Southern didn't get their doors blown off in their first game.
Meanwhile, USC's offensive performance last year was one of the best in the entire country. They had, I think, Jack, 82% of the total yards available their offense gained. They basically scored a touchdown every drive.
Missouri State was obviously not a great opponent, but they weren't a horrendous. I mean, they weren't, Houston Christian. USC might have been arguably the most impressive team in the first week of college football.
Sam writes, sad not to put Western Kentucky versus Toledo. Western Kentucky win as a path to 10-0 heading into LSU will be a G5 playoff convo. You know what, Sam? I think every week you should give me a game, and I could put that as like the Sam game of the week. The Sickos game of the week. Yeah, to pay attention to stuff. I like that idea.
The Lachute Lager, yes.
SEC Network, by the way, Louisiana Monroe. People forget they beat Nick Saban's first Alabama team. Wow, Jack, wouldn't it be pretty funny if they beat the Tide tonight? They won't, but it'd be fun if it was close. It would be really fun if this game was close.
If they did, Alabama will have a new coach tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh. That would be incredible.
Mid-season firing, baby.
And then the late night window, not that great. Stanford BYU on ESPN. There's just not a whole lot of games man. Tonight.
San Diego State, that could be the CW. Yeah. I don't even think I have the CW though. Last year I tried to watch
TV.
Yeah, but last year I tried to watch a CW game and we didn't have it. So
you have it because that's right. There's like a difference in
Lincoln and Omaha was different. Yeah,
that's right. Because I have it. Hopefully you have it so you can watch that game. UC Davis.
That's the best one.
Yeah, UC Davis, Washington is a 10 o'clock game. I can never, Jack, get over these West Coast games on Big Ten Network. It is just so odd to me. It's like coming up, a Big Ten Washington team at 10 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. Michael's probably going to fall asleep at the desk. It's so late.
I am already ready to get rid of the FCS, FBS game. We got another 2 weeks of that, and then let's move on. Yes. Those are crap.
And then let's see, Weber. Is it Weber or Weber? I always forget. Weber State, Arizona.
Weber
State. The Mountain West Network. Download that app, folks. Sam Houston at Hawaii. And then after Nebraska football, not tonight. That will be tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. as we recap everything. And that is the Saturday flight. brought to you by us and my Canva graphics. There was a comment a moment ago from D'Lo. He says, love how the last 18 months have removed everyone's memory of Lincoln Riley's ability to coach. I mean, I guess that's fair, but I mean, they've gotten really stinky. Like, what am I just supposed to ignore the last 18 months where they've been terrible? Imagine, Jack, if you will, because D'Lo has been known from time to time to look at the negative side of things with Nebraska football. Imagine a Nebraska coach who comes out like gangbusters, like Lincoln Riley did at USC. They're really, really good. And then they slowly regress. Do we think D'Lo would be hopping on the pod today saying, guys, you're ignoring the last –
I feel like
he was good.
2018 to 2023 has removed everyone's memory of Scott Frost being a great coach.
Yeah, come on. Like sometimes I'm confused. Connor, D'Lo being negative, never. Yeah,
he's been terrible, and he seems like he doesn't even want the job. So yeah,
he doesn't. He wants to leave. Yeah. I don't know why we're so focused on the fact that he's basically a 500 coach over the last 2 years.
And he picked Jaden Maiava. By the way, Jaden Maiava is not going to be a great quarterback for them. So let's calm down after one game. I feel like one game made D'Lo forget that he sucks as a coach. How's that? Correct. You like that? Yeah. And then Maiava sucks.
Yeah.
Nebraska's going to beat him by 14.
Hell yeah. Dave points out Scott Frost hasn't lost a game at UCF since 2016. Yeah, are we just forgetting the 5 years of ignore the 5 years, Jack. He's doing a really good job.
Today? Who's UCF play today? Where's your Scott Frost game?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't put that on there. I apologize.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it on my list.
It's because they're on ESPN Plus again. North Carolina A&T.
Oh, God.
Come on, Scott.
Playing a SWAC team. Oh, man.
Huss says, what would Oliver say? WWOS. Yeah, what would Oliver? Man, it's too bad that now in the heyday of the club where D'Lo brings his negativity every day that him and Oliver can't have a negative off where they just, I think they suck. No, I think they suck.
That sounds like a good pod. It might do some numbers, actually. Who's the negative off? Every day we post 2 negative celebrity members, and they try and say the most shocking negative thing.
Well, we keep expanding, Jack. We keep adding podcasts, maybe ahead of next season. Maybe that could be the next podcast that the I-80 Club brings. Fingers crossed indeed. Speaking of new podcasts, a reminder, before the witching hour, the greatest graphic in the history of the I-80 Club. Jack loves it.
That is going to give me a seizure. Oh, my gosh.
I hope that Matt is watching right now. I really want to know what he thinks of you and everybody else roasting his
Josh, you should be happy. All it does is make me appreciate you so much.
Wow, thank you.
In a way that Matt, I probably haven't before.
Wow. That is the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Jack. I very much appreciate it. But before the witching hour tomorrow, that will be at 9:30 with Matt and yours truly. We will be on for about an hour, and we'll be doing this each and every Sunday ahead of the NFL games. As we talked about earlier, on Thursday, my team played. His team doesn't play until Monday. Next week, both of our teams will play on Sunday, and so we will get you ready for the Cowboys and the Bears. The National Fun League pod does not go away. That one will be back on, I don't know if this Monday, but it will be back at some point in time. What are you laughing at?
Matt's asking some legal questions about our.
Don't
Matt,
worry.
Matt, don't worry. I already do this role, and
it is allowed. Of course, it's allowed. Everybody uses it in graphics. It's fine. Everybody freaks out.
Listen, the one thing we don't need is someone asking questions like that because I already do it.
Yeah, Jack does.
And
Jack
then I get it, and then I get ignored. So whatever.
Well, no, that's not true. You have stopped asking me questions because it makes you so uncomfortable. You were just like, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. But I explained one thing that I've been doing recently to Jack, and he said, oh, okay, that's good. That's a smart idea. So you gave me some credit for
the first time. Now I said you're good at Canva. Now you said you had one good idea. Things are really moving along.
Shout out to me. Yeah, Jabs. Yeah, the NFL is going to sue this obscure Discord podcast in Nebraska. Exactly. Thank you, Jabs. All right. That is the Saturday morning coffee show. Jack, I have to leave. I have to go to the airport. I have to fly to Omaha. I have to watch football. I have to do Big Red Overreaction. Somebody asked, who's doing Overreaction tonight? That will be yours truly and the creator of the great graphic, Matt McMaster. Him and I tonight on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Hopefully he can get his thoughts organized better than that graphic.
Nice. Ben says, obscure, we have a sponsor. We do have a sponsor. Thank you, Ben.
Shout out BOD Coach. Sign up.
Coach/I80 Club, 10% off of your order. All right, Jack, enjoy the games today. I hope you get to watch them because the last few weeks you're always running around
Same
on
as
Saturdays.
usual. I'll have stuff to do all day, and I'll have him on in the background. I mean, I always
so sad.
do.
Yeah, that is so sad. We are back tomorrow with After Nebraska Football at 11. Matt and I on tomorrow at 9:30 for before the witching hour, and off we go into another week. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the game tonight. We will see you tomorrow. He's Jack. I'm Josh. Thank you so much for joining us in the I-80 Club. Patreon.com/I-80 Club if you would like to join us for as low as $5 a month. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.